Hey, it's Molly. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to discuss a magical, rare energy that is happening on October 28th, 2024. That is Monday. And we have a grand sextile occurring. And the grand sextile is going to be fleeting, but it is a big deal in astrology to have this rare aspect formed, especially during this very big time. And so I'm going to break this down and go through this for you here. Now, first of all, you can probably see here that this is composed of two grand trines. So we have one grand trine in the earth signs. We have 26 Taurus, 27 Virgo, 29 Capricorn. And it is all lining up with planets in the water signs. So 27 Cancer, 23 Scorpio, and 27 Pisces. Now I'm going to go through the planets in just a moment, but I wanted to make that clear because I know there's people of different levels who watch this channel. So you can see that because there are two grand trines, that also means all 6 of these planets are sextiling their neighbor. And that's why it's called a grand sextile. And this is an energy that brings in a new integration of harmony, peace, connection, options, choices occurring in earth and water, clearly, directly represented and connected to Gaia. The energy streams on our planet are feeling these connections here of this grand sextile. And it's working with both outer planets and personal planets and the moon. So the moon is actually what is creating the grand sextile, and that's because of the moon occupying the late degrees of Virgo. The moon is moving fast, as it typically does, spending 2.5 to 3 days in a sign. And so it's the moon moving through Virgo that creates this third earth sign. And then the moon moves on. The moon will then enter into Libra after the grand sextile is exact. The other unusual factor is Mercury in the third water sign of Scorpio. You can see that Mercury is at 23 Scorpio. And so Mercury is going to be interacting with the other planets for a number of days. So even after the grand sextile starts to dissolve with the moon moving forward and the moon no longer being at that 6th point, this Mercury is still in dialogue, is still communicating with the higher consciousness of these outer planets. And this is your mind. This is what you are sensing in the depth of Scorpio, what you're feeling, intuitively picking up. Scorpio will connect you to a deeper knowingness that you feel and you sense before you see it, before you touch it, but you're aware of its energy field. And so I feel that this Mercury is very important because it is the personal planet, the most personal planet after the moon, interacting with the rest of these energies. So because these two are here on October 28th, the moon and Mercury, that's why this grand sextile was formed. And I almost missed it, to be honest. I'm doing another video for you on the cradle aspect. That will be my next chart video. And in preparing for that is when I stumbled upon this grand sextile. So this feels like there is an orchestration of energies that are connecting and coming together, transforming the planet and allowing us to move and flow with not only what is being destroyed, demolished, and torn down, but also providing greater trust in what is being reestablished and built up at the same time. This grand sextile, as you can see, means that each planet has multiple connection points, and each planet is in fact interacting with all the other planets at the same time. So there's a lot coming together. This is certainly a kaleidoscope of energies. I keep hearing the word orchestra, like a symphony of energies all playing together in harmony. And it can be a lot, but I feel that this is lucky energy, meaning if you have planets or points at the late degrees of earth signs and the late degrees of water signs, you're feeling this more personally. And so yes, it's exact on Monday, October 28th, but you could already feel the energy coming in, coming through. You could be connecting with more answers and understandings in your world, in your life. And you could certainly be feeling it with that moon in Virgo being the most personal daily energy that is actually providing practical insights into what to do about it. So now let's go through each of these. So again, the moon in Virgo is going to look for specific answers and details. Wants to see, is this viable? What's the process? Is it tangible? How would it practically come together? And this moon trining Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees for the last time is feeling a powerful surge. And as it trines this Uranus at 26 of Taurus retrograde, there is an opening into resources, possibilities. I feel that this Uranus is important because not only did we have the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction earlier this year in April that activated the changes that Uranus is already bringing to our attention, we know how much our collective and individual values have changed, especially since 2020. And I'm going to use that as a barometer here, as a marking point, because it was big for the collective. And it brought up new understanding of what is important to me. How do I want to spend my days? It certainly came through with everyone having to work from home, and then people not wanting to go back to the office, not wanting to return to that same physical environment and wanting more freedom, wanting new ways to make money, wanting to understand more about, well, what is possible for me outside of the typical system? Because I don't want the system, or I don't want to be a part of the system like I was. And so this is an energy of opening up some new ways of perhaps living your daily life, new insights into what changes you need to make, how to do so, because the earth signs are always about the how. They're also about finances, boundaries, time, commitment, what's involved. How is this really going to look? If I want to change my life, what is going to need to fall into place, or what else is going to have to shift so that I can do so? And I feel that this particular time period here on the end of October, there could be some unexpected connection points that actually work that you just didn't see before. And you realize they help you move away from the previous chapter or the previous part of your life and move into new experiences that are more empowering and better represent what you want to experience regularly. Mercury in Scorpio, as I mentioned, is about going deeper. And this Mercury will look at the financial component. We'll look at what needs to happen. What's the strategy? What's the plan? How do we get there? Let me investigate. Let me get into some Facebook groups and see what people are saying. Let me check out some things that will be important for us to know. What are the details? So this, I always think of this Mercury in Scorpio as on a mission or looking for a mission to investigate and understand. It's a very passionate, fixed energy. And when the inspiration is there, that's practical, you hand it off to the Mercury, and this Mercury in Scorpio is going to get it done and is going to discover more. So this Mercury is also supported. Now keep in mind, all 6 planets in this conversation are supported. They are all sitting together, bouncing ideas, options, energies off each other. Something is coalescing. Something is forming and coming together, and it's tangible, and you can feel it. Tangible because this is earth signs. You feel it because of the water signs. Then, of course, we have Pluto, 29 degrees Capricorn, 42 minutes. And in the final 3 weeks of this sign, and Capricorn is aware of what needs to be over, what is done, what is complete, what is closing out for you, and is asking you to hold strong to that empowered vision that you've arrived at or that you're moving through, to understand that there could be an element here of standing in your own strength and in your own desired outcome or direction that is quite Capricorn. This is a no compromise energy. Where in your life are you realizing I'm not compromising what I want or what I'm transforming into because I feel that it's me or what I want next and where I'm going? And again, this Pluto with that interaction to Uranus, bubbling up, releasing you from something that could feel disruptive. Uranus is awakening to another way of maybe being in your world and being in your life that actually resonates more than what you've experienced before. I mean, these are deep pivotal shifts here. These are life-changing energies that are asking you to break away, maybe from some responsibilities that you thought you always had to tend to or manage. Break free from something that you took on. The Capricorn energy is dedicated and determined, and you could be realizing, you know what? The world isn't going to end if I don't do that anymore. And maybe this is the perfect time for that change or that shift. And then this moon in Virgo is like, oh, hey, I know someone who can support that. I know someone who could take over or take some things off your plate or be able to manage what you need. So this Pluto is wildly supported here. Then we move to Neptune at 27 Pisces retrograde. And Neptune in Pisces is also moving through what it means to trust the bigger process that's ending and closing out. That there are things that need to dissolve. What has been hidden needs to be revealed. That's part of the work of the Saturn, actually. But this Neptune in Pisces is bringing us a master class in not only endings on the planet. Industries are over. Things are phasing out. Chapters are closing in a very significant way. And this Neptune in Pisces is the ebbing and flowing between your emotional experiences. And the healthy expression of this Neptune in Pisces is to go with it, to flow with it when you feel sadness, sorrow, or grief, and then to flow into the forgiveness, the compassion, the gratitude of what you've been through. So this Neptune is actually holding space for us to process endings and to know that they are right on time. Our human selves, our emotional world can only maybe move through or handle so much at a time. But this is a significant point of allowing things to dissolve, and as they dissolve and fall away, how do we transcend, go higher into the perspective of saying, I'm really glad I had that experience. I really learned a lot. I really got some deeper understanding in what this life is about for me. And so Neptune is holding space for us to be in the emotional experience and also continue to trust that new days are ahead. Then we go over here to Uranus in Taurus at 26 degrees retrograde. And as I touched on previously, Uranus is shaking up our resources, our money, our finances. It's shaking up the ground underneath us so that we can actually have some new creative ways of being in ourselves and in knowing how to maintain internal peace amongst the changes and chaos, to not be swept away by any big drama or the latest blasting newsline, but rather maintain a core that strengthens you, Taurus, while the changes are occurring, and also being honest with yourself about what you authentically want now that could surprise you. And that's Uranus, the planet of surprises. And again, this energy, you could realize you're ready for some kind of change that could be hard to mentally process since Uranus is opposing that Mercury. Like, it surprises even you. Then we move here to Mars, 27 degrees of Cancer, connecting to how we normally go after something and assert ourselves, how we move through the world, trusting what we feel, trusting the vibes. This Mars in Cancer, when you're really tuned in to the messages, will guide you through an area you've never been in before and ask you to trust your gut. So go left, not right. And you're like, okay, I don't know why, but I want to walk down this side of the sidewalk, not that side. This Mars is learning that he can count on his intuitive abilities and that his feelings matter. This Mars is actually being supported here as well in the Grand Sextile. And I feel like the most important support is with this trine to Mercury and Scorpio, because this is the mind. And so both of these in water signs are flowing together and are allowing you to step out of typical mental programming and just go with the flow of the day, of the hour, of whatever you're moving through, and allow that to guide you. That will bring you answers and understandings that you wouldn't have arrived at if you were trying to only logically or rationally figure it out. So this is elevating our intuitive guidance systems. Earth and water signs are feminine. They are receptive, allowing, trusting. They're the energies that give us a sense of possibility and hope. And I feel this energy is asking you to trust what is calling to you, what is lining up for you or coming together. There's a lot of energy in a Grand Sextile. I mean, you can see it here. There's a lot of communications. This is a big group chat. Okay, big group chat going on here. They're all figuring something out, but I feel it's coming together. Again, I keep hearing the word orchestra. So think of it as, each one being its own set of instruments, and each one is contributing to a bigger picture, a bigger dream. This also breaks up some of the tension of the Mars-Pluto opposition that is building throughout the week and exact November 3rd. I will have a separate video for you discussing that more. It's breaking up the tension and showing you there are new options. There's new ways to go. There's more than one choice or direction, but honestly, that can overwhelm the earth and water signs. There could be a new grounding that comes in. I mean, this also looks like a grid, right? Like grid work, feeling more grounded and clear in something in your life or multiple things. And as the moon moves away, that will leave Uranus and Pluto in this conversation together. So the Grand Sextile brings in a change to your everyday world or experiences that you're ready to practice, to integrate, a change to daily life, eating habits, health and well-being, work, service, maybe an understanding of what profession or job you're ready to move into next, or, I mean, this can happen at a macro and micro level. But as you can see, the Grand Sextile is special. So pay attention to what is coming up for you over the weekend of October 26th, 27th, 28th, even Friday. But it's going to really start to build as soon as that moon goes into Virgo. So a beautiful energy is showing up during this intense time, reminding us that everything is in divine order. The universe sees possibilities and miracles. The universe sees the abilities to create what's next, what's new, what is best. Focus on those themes for yourself. Focus on what is best for your world and your life now. And you might be surprised at what starts to click and form through the the end of October. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back with another chart video for you soon. I'm going to discuss the cradle aspect that is occurring as well.